Welcome to my HIIT workout. We're going to start with a warm-up. So let's just get in the groove and start with some butt kicks, side to side. We'll take about a 3-minute warm-up here and a 3-minute cool down at the end. You can go ahead and bend at the elbow, kind of a bicep curl prep while you're doing those kickbacks. Checking in with yourself, make sure that you have something to drink, you have a sweat towel, and keep it going. Nice deep breaths. Excellent. So this workout today is going to be in a HIIT style, so we will do 40 seconds of training and then 20-second rest, and we will keep the body moving. And during that 20-second rest, you're encouraged to walk around, move, do not sit down, and then get ready for the next round. So I will give you cues on how to make it easier, harder, and whether to use weight or not, or use a band or not. And here you can see we're just doing a high knee march, arms going up and down. At any time, if it feels too much, just take either the arms or the legs out of it. So we're going to try to raise the knee right to the hip height, as you can see here, but just do the best that you can. Everyone should listen to their body and stay at the level that they're at and challenge themselves appropriately. Okay, here we're going to take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and we're just going to let the arm go here. We're just going to wind it backwards. Elbows can be slightly bent here, and you can see that deep breaths are important, right? We're getting the blood flow going. We're getting the upper body warm here. Change directions on that arm swing. And a couple more here. Nice deep breaths at all times, and then switch the legs and start with the backward circle here. Taking the arm back and really opening it up, letting the weight of the arm just pull on the arm and get that blood flow going, and then switch direction here. We are almost done with this warm-up. We've got about 45 seconds left here. Nice deep breaths. I'll always be giving you those cues. Notice I'm wearing gloves. You don't need them. If you have a watch, a fitness watch, you might want to set that to high intensity interval training. Okay, we're taking hands to hips here, and we're just jutting the hips out side to side. You can reach up and over if that feels good. Take it as slow or as quickly as your body feels today. Always listen to your body. If you feel tweaked, then maybe don't do the arms on this one, but it feels really good to bend into it. All right, and we're getting ready to go ahead with the first round. So we're going to do intervals of 40 seconds. As I mentioned, I'm going to grab small weights on this one. They're optional, 1 to 3 pounds. I believe these are 3 here, and we're just going to push from the waist. I'm always going to talk about this tuck and curl, where I want you to have a slight bend in the knee to protect the low back. I want you to squeeze in at the core and really feel. Look at how that punching is coming from right above the belly button, okay? So we're getting a nice twist on the waist, and we're pushing and pulling back toward the chest. Deep breaths. Almost done with this interval here. At any time, if you need to cut out before the 40 seconds, give yourself a break and take the break that you need. All right, so this will be the break period here. Okay, so you take that 10-second, 20-second break, and then you get right back in. Now here I'm offering as another option, if the arms feel good and you're not too out of breath, you notice that the knees are open and bent, and there's a little bit of a bounce. Of course, this is going to add a little bit more in the fat burning zone. So you want to be, for high intensity interval training, you don't want to be at a cardio level. You don't want to be at that level where you can barely talk. That's a cardiovascular level, and that just has a different purpose to the workout. The main goal of this type of workout is to get fat burning accelerated in the body, increase ketones, and take a break. Okay, so breaks are a little bit cut up here, so go ahead and take the break as needed. Okay, you don't have to take a 20-second break here. Take a look and check on the exercise and make sure you understand the form. So here I'm sitting back. Notice that I'm doing a press on the tricep here, but I'm sitting back in a chair, a static hold in chair, which is a yoga position. but you're bending forward. The knees are not coming past the toes. So that's why I'm going to the side here so you can see the right form. So you're in a chair. It's like you're almost getting ready to sit down in a chair, but not quite. Nice flat back. Notice I'm not trying to crane my neck. My chin is tucked, and I press back. And should feel that at the back of the bicep. Then take a break. Check in with yourself. If you have a heart rate watch, you can take a look. You should definitely feel like you could converse and have a conversation. And I don't recommend that you sit down when you're in the middle of doing these intervals. Okay, so we're going to do another round here. So notice this one I'm sinking a little bit deeper, and I'm going to do a hold there and go, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 press backs, and then back up. So sitting down in the chair, 4 press backs, and back up. So what happens here is now we're using all the muscles of the low body, engaging the core, engaging the glutes, nice flat back, and we're also working the back of the arm. So a lot of things with HIIT, you'll see multiple areas of the body being used. You also might notice that I'm wearing a weighted vest, which really does help increase the workload that you have, okay? So I do like a little bit of boxing, as you can see from the beginning here. So I like the 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and then we do 1, 2, 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Once again, we're trying to turn right from the waist. See that motion that I just showed there? So we're really using that waist like we're squeezing in at the core and trying to turn. And keep the hips fairly quiet. We don't want to just have the hips bopping back and forth. We really want to feel that work in the core. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And of course, this is not professional kickboxing by any means. This is my modified way of doing a workout that is for all levels. That's going to make you feel good, make you feel toned without having to have a lot of equipment. Okay? So now we're going to switch sides, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and we're going to do that 1, 2, 3 punch. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you notice here again, there's that option to go ahead and do a bounce with it, which of course is going to increase the work. So that's where I really want people to be looking at their watch, looking at and feeling their heart rate, and making sure they can still breathe and they're not at a pace where they feel like, you know, they're going to fall over. Okay, so you got to make it your own, and you got to make it work for you. So punch, 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 come back in, notice that bounce, and keep the breath flowing out. It will automatically come back in. Keep the punches right at the shoulder height, and take a break. All right, so then we switch it off. We did a bunch of arms now. The arms are feeling good. So now we're just going to do leg kicks. So with that, you notice my weights change. So I'm holding 2 5-pound weights now at the chest, which increases the workload. And I'm just alternating kick, little rocket kicks here. Again, you can wear sneakers. You don't have to. This is a no jump workout. There's always an option for a bounce. But I do like working out on my bare feet. It does make me feel like I get blood flow going throughout my feet. And I also don't have to worry about my neighbors downstairs, which you may have as well. Okay? Or you just might not want to wake someone else up in your home. All right, so taking a break.
We're going to take that.
Getting ready for the next exercise here.
We're going to take that same thing.
All right, so I've got 5-pound weights here. And we're going to do a raise and kick. So again, if you're just starting out, you might try the kick and be like, wait a second, I can't coordinate all of this. But notice on the arms that they're not coming down past the shoulders. So we don't want to droop the elbows down. We want to hold them up there, and that's really going to give us a nice tone to the shoulders. And then if you can manage it, the alternating kick, and you notice here I'm putting a little bop in it. That was a little ambitious. So if you try something and you're like, no, that's too hard, just go right back down. And like I said, take one level out of it for yourself. You are going to feel so great from this total body 30-minute workout. And I recommend doing these every other day, especially if you're trying to increase fat burning or ketosis in the body. All right, here we go, next round. So sometimes we do the same thing twice. You know, I change the workouts up. Notice I've taken the legs out here. And I'm just focusing on those arm muscles. I'm tucking and curling my pelvis under. I want to make sure that I have space in that low back. I'm not sagging my middle inward, so that I have a nice straight strong back. And getting done with this interval here. And at any time you could always drop weight and do it with no weight.
And with a band on,
you can get weights 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pounds. I don't recommend any higher unless you're an experienced weightlifter, in which case you're probably going to be doing a different workout. So here you see me putting on a band. These bands I really like because they're cloth and they don't slide around on your clothes, okay? So we're doing a walking lunge here. So resistance band optional, you don't need it here. If you've been doing it for a little while, it adds a little bit of resistance. This one's a bit of an easier band. You see it's stretching fairly simply. Some of them are a little tighter and they're going to afford less movement, but that resistance is going to be going on. So you see that I'm trying to get my knees at 90-degree angles to the ground, and then I'm just turning and walking back. Don't have a big area here to work out, but that's okay. You can just take 2 steps, turn, notice how my shoulders are staying back, feeling it in those outer glutes as I point to them, then take a break. We're going to take one more round on this one, and this one is going to have an option for you to take a little bit of a dip on each one. So this is where you feel that burn. So walking and then a little bounce at the bottom. You can see I'm going to be needing my towel here. And 1, 2, resist the urge to tip forward, right? We take the work out of the glutes and the legs when we tip forward. So really trying to keep those hands on the hips, keeping the back straight, and dip, dip, and turn. Dip, whoop, dip, dip, and turn. There we go. And we should be coming to the end of this interval. So it makes the workout very manageable when you know, okay, I've just got to do this 40 seconds, then I get a break. So here we are rolling through the breaks a little more quickly, but I want to give you a base workout here for you to try. So here we have cross punching with an upper level lunge. So the band could stay on or off. Notice that I'm pivoting that foot as I go in the opposite direction with the punch. Okay, in this one the hips are obviously turning, not like the straight punches where we're turning from above the belly button. This one is a full side body stretch here. Good. Reaching out, staying right at that shoulder height. Breathe out. Breathe out and bend into it in the middle. You can do as deep as you want or not. Take a break. So you can just pause the video or you can just roll right through it if you like. Okay, so now we took out, notice on this round, we took out the legs and we're just doing cross punches. Now we've gone back to hips are staying straight forward and we're turning from the belly button again. So each one of them has a different purpose, but here we're really trying to focus on training that core, tightening and firming it. The stronger your core is, the less likely you will have back injuries in life. So it's a really good body part to focus on. And of course it makes us look great when we have a nice tight core. All right, almost through here. Breathe, pull back, push away, and take a break.
I'm going to hold no weight because my heart rate's up, so check in with that.
Okay.
See how you feel. We're going to do a front kick side to the
Check
right.
in, see how your heart rate's doing,
So we can do that
and
floating.
keep in mind that the next move here, you can always just do one body part, right? So here I've gone ahead and put my hands on my hips because probably my heart rate is pretty far up here. So we're doing a forward kick, side kick. And notice we're working the core by balancing, right? So we can tap down, which I'm showing here, or we can float it. Okay, see that was a float. Floating it, we're going to have to really squeeze down on the core and really focus on that kick coming from the core and keeping us from falling over, right? So take it and play with it. See how solid you are. You might find one side stronger than the other. We're going to switch it over and go to front kick, side kick on the other side now. Good. We're about halfway there, and we do have a 3-minute cool down at the end, so it goes pretty quickly. That's the other nice thing about it. You can do this workout when you wake up, and before you know it, it's time to hit the showers, and you have gotten your energy for the day, your fat burning ramped up, and there you go. So here on this side, you notice I'm tapping down a little bit more, so my balance may not be as good on this side. It changes from day to day. It's not about judgment, right? It's just about doing your best every day to keep yourself strong and fit. Awesome.
So hands can be clasped together.
All right, we got a total body move here where we're taking one weight. You don't have to have a weight in your hand. You can just put your hands together, and we're crossing those hands and or that weight across the outside of the knee as we bring the knee up. So in a way, if you look at this, it's kind of like when you do a bicycle on your back. Okay, for abs, we're doing a standing one, and we're doing one side at a time. So breathing out as the knee comes up, as the arms cross over the front of the knee, and then breathing in as you stretch out and up. Good. Almost there, and then we'll get the other side. Okay. All right. It looks like we missed the other side. Okay. Well, you can pause the video and do that other side. And then I always do a 2-minute hold, 1 minute straight like this in a plank. You can see I'm rocking a little back and forth. That is totally fine. And what we're doing here is we're trying to strengthen the core again. Keeping shoulders over the hips. See how I'm just loosening my neck there. Don't hold your neck tight. You don't want your butt sticking way up. But if you need a break, take it like this in a down dog and then come back. Or if you need to drop your knees down, because this is tough to do in the beginning, it takes a while to build the conditioning, but you will be amazed at how strong your back becomes, and you will have a lot less back pain. So I will keep you informed here, and as soon as it gets to 1 minute, then we're going to do a side plank, and I'm going to demonstrate it with a kickstand. Here we go. Side plank, knee down option. Notice the bottom knee is supporting me completely. You also have the option of staggering or stacking your feet together. This option here is more of a stretch, but it is also strengthening your core. So reaching up and over, let that head go. Feel that lung expanding. Breathe in nice and deeply. We only do 30 seconds on each side. We're almost done here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And get ready to switch it over to the other side. Here we go. Final side with this plank hold with the kickstand. Okay, the kickstand will help you to get stronger, and then you will eventually, if you keep practicing this every other day or every day, you will be able to get up there on your 2 feet stacked. And my favorite actually is staggered, which is kind of a compromise between the two. But you can imagine after all that work how good this stretch is feeling about now. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick wipe of the sweat here, and then we will go into our final section here, which is abdominals. We always finish up with 3 or 4 moves for the abs, and then we do a cool down. So we're going to work the low abs here. I want you to lie nice and flat, let your neck go, relax the upper body, and we are just doing a side to side, up and down, pointing the toes, and just swishing the legs over each other. You can have a slight bend in the knees here. Okay, you can take a break like I just did if you need to. If the low back is cranky, put your hands under the low back and lie on your hands, which will give your hands a nice massage, and it will also protect your low back. Only go down as far as is comfortable, which it could be that you're up at the top right now, and that's fine. Okay, hug the knees in, take a breath. Okay, extend the legs straight up, and now we're going to do lowers. So we're holding the feet together as one unit. We're going to go slow down to a count of 3 or 4. Again, only going to where it's, you feel that tightening of the core, but it's not painful in the low back. So we go slow down to a count of 4 and then fast up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and fast up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and zip it up. Okay, a couple more of these here.
Ooh, feeling the sweat
Good.
today. Should be right at the end here. Yep.
You are almost done. Thank you for hanging in there with me today. Lower it down, zip it up. All right. then rock and roll, hug the knees in a little bit.
Now let's take
We
an
are
old
almost
school
there.
Bicycle here, so whatever form.
And we're getting ready
Maybe I'm
to,
gonna do fingertips
let's
to
wipe the
back of
sweat.
head. Breathe in, straight up.
We're almost done. We're going to take a bicycle here and we're just going to rotate. So you try and lift your shoulder blade up off the ground, but don't pull on your neck. Just use your fingertips. I don't want you pulling on your neck. Just reaching toward that opposite knee. And the legs, you can see my legs aren't going all the way down. If they need to go higher because the low back doesn't like this, then they can be at a higher angle, okay? This is great because it gets the cardiovascular system going again, the fat burning system, while we're working that total abdominal area. Good. Reach, reach, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, and extend.
All right, hug those knees in.
The breath in will just happen. That's what I tell people. Anyway, hug your knees in here, rock it side to side. We're going to do one final round here, and then I promise cool down is on the way. So rather than doing both sides of the bicycle, we're going to take one side at a time. And if that's annoying to you, you can just go right back and do the same round again. So notice here, I'm just extending the right leg and I'm taking my right elbow over and holding the left knee stationary, holding it still, and just reach, reach, reach. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, you can really feel that right abs really kicking on here, and then you switch it over and just do the other side.
Just to really feel
there we go, switching it and moving just the left arm and the left leg out and holding the right leg in that tabletop position. Always twisting at the core. This should be it here. Last little bit. And hug the knees in. Give them a nice squeeze. And we will start the cool down. Check in, see how you're doing. Yes, cool down time. All right, so go ahead and grab onto your shins, your feet, your knees, and pull those knees in towards you, or you can be pulling at the back of the thigh. Just pulling those knees into the chest is going to stretch the hips, the low back, all those areas we just worked. If you can grab onto your feet like I am here, this is called Happy Baby in yoga. Try to let the low back sink down. Don't let the low back lift up. You can rock a little side to side, get a little massage on the low back here, and it should feel really good on the whole back of the leg. Okay, bring the feet down, cross the right leg over the left and drop it down to the side. So your right leg is crossed over your left knee, and then you're dropping that off to the left and then looking over your right shoulder. So you get a nice twist in the middle of the body here. Let the neck go, let the neck be heavy, let the shoulder drop down. Feel that nice twist, feel the heart rate coming down. Bring the legs back and then cross the left over the right and drop it down. It doesn't have to touch the floor. You can put your hand on the outer left thigh and give it a little bit of compression there and look over the other shoulder. Nice total body stretch here. Deep breath.
All right, let's come on to our side. Rolling up. Let's take a Vinyasana here. If you need a block.
All right. We're going to stand up here, taking our time. We're going to take a squat. Now with this one, your feet do not have to be flat on the ground. You can use your elbows to press into your knees. If this is not accessible to you, you can put your hands down on the ground and just go as low as you can with that squat to open up the back of the glutes, the legs. And if you can do this, this is something to work towards. This is a great inner thigh, outer thigh, and a nice stretch for the end of your workout. And then go ahead and forward fold here and maybe grab your sweat towel. Okay, hands can be touching the ground here. Just let your low back go. Let the weight of your upper body just pull that spine and give you space, and then slowly walk your hands up your legs.
All right, let's take a nice bicep
Roll up
stretch
nice and
here.
slow. Wipe the sweat, and let's stretch those biceps out. So taking the back of the hand and pulling the fingers all together towards you,
Shoulders,
taking some
take a
deep
nice
breaths
shoulder
here,
stretch as well.
and stretching the biceps.
Up and over.
Nice deep breaths. Heart rate should be coming
Side body.
down. I will tell you there'll be sweat to clean up on the floor. Taking the back of the elbow and turning over to your side, and let's get a side stretch, tricep stretch. And then you can use your wall here to take your arm at shoulder height and open up your chest. Really good for the pecs and the top of the arm. So you just want to make sure that you're not too low or too high. And then if you don't have wall space, you can take your arms back behind you, clasp your hands, and then dip down and over, reaching the arms up as high as you can. You'll feel a nice opening in the whole chest and also upper back. And then slowly release and roll up here. And I hope you enjoyed this HIIT workout and that you feel great. And I will see you soon.
I have a hard time with eagle. I have
Thank
to use
you.
a strap. So that reminds me of that position.
One last little chest opener there. Great job. You did it. See you next time.